So the left has been going nuts over this. How could President Trump have ever suggested prosecuting Hillary Clinton or James Comey? You know what the answer is? The answer is the same as the answer is with regard to the Saudi thing. President Trump says a lot of stuff out loud that a lot of other people say quietly. President Trump says a lot of stuff and considers a lot of stuff that his job does not allow for. President Obama did it quietly, and so we pretend that meant that he was filled with dignity and honor. President Trump says this stuff out loud, and therefore this means that he is the greatest tyrant this side of Genghis Khan. Right? This is really how the media play it. Remember, President Obama had his attorney general act as his wingman. That is the statement of his own attorney general. He declared executive privilege on behalf of that attorney general when he was held in contempt by Congress. No one at the IRS was ever prosecuted for the targeting of conservative groups. But Obama did it quietly. He didn't say it out loud, and that meant that he was filled with dignity and honor. And so some folks, Connor Friedersdorf over at at the Atlantic, he said, well, you're making excuses for President Trump on this story. No, I'm just telling the truth on President Trump, which is President Trump says a lot of crap. Most of it never sees the light of day. Most of it never turns into policy because, as I say, President Trump says a lot of crap. Okay, I'm not going to take a statement from President Trump threatening things with the same seriousness as a statement from President Obama threatening things. Why? Because Obama was a much more subtle politician who didn't say the quiet part out loud. President Trump always says things out loud. There has not yet been a thought that occurred to President Trump that did not then exit his face within a millisecond. So when President Trump says stuff, no, I'm not going to take it as seriously as I would from President Obama, because Obama actually considered the stuff that came out of his face. And that meant that when he issued a threat, it was actually dangerous. When Trump issues a threat, it's mostly Trump just saying things. And these folks who are saying that I'm supposed to treat Trump exactly like Obama, like I have a functioning prefrontal cortex. I'm not going to. That's silly. It's like saying that I'm supposed to treat my 2.5-year-old son the same way that I treat my wife when they make pronouncements on things. Like, no, they're different people with different capacities. That's not a thing. Okay, President Trump is great at a good many things. He is not great at not saying things, right? He says a lot of stuff, and a lot of that stuff never materializes. So the fact that he said a crazy thing that never materialized, forgive me if I'm not going to go crazy over that in the same way that I would for President Obama, because President Obama was a much more serious human being when it came to saying things that were correlated with his policy. Go back and look at all the statements President Trump has made and see how they've correlated with his actual policy. The answer is not very well. The statements that President Obama made with regard to his hardcore policy, that stuff correlated pretty well with exactly what he was trying to do.